Hi friends, this is just an update on my sighted journey. If you don't know who I am, my name's Karen. I was born with congenital cataracts and glaucoma. I am currently legally blind. I only have vision in my left eye. I wear a prosthetic in my right, and I am just trying to hold on to as much vision for as long as I can. So yesterday, my husband and I traveled to Philadelphia, and we went to see a cornea specialist at the Wills Eye Hospital, which is like one of the top 5 best hospitals in the country for eye care. And this was just a second opinion. I have seen a cornea doctor in Pittsburgh before, and I just wanted to get a second opinion to make sure that I was like understanding what was happening, what my options were, and then to just make sure that I make the right choice, because the bottom line is that I am in need of a cornea transplant, and that will be life-changing no matter what happens. Whether I get it or not, it will be life-changing for me. I am basically kind of stuck in between like a rock and a hard place, and it's not the most fun place to be, but what I really was hoping to get out of yesterday was some clarity and just like some confidence that I'm making the right choice and I'm doing the right things for me, for my family, etc. So yesterday I went and met with Dr. Rapawano, who is a cornea specialist, like I said, and basically to recap kind of like what situation I'm in. I have a failed trabeculectomy. I also have a tube shunt placed in my eye, and that was to help control my glaucoma. Thankfully, ever since I've had my tube shunt placed, my glaucoma has been under control. I only have to take 2 drops a day to manage the glaucoma, and this is honestly the best place I think I've ever been in with my glaucoma in terms of like the amount of medication I have to take, the amount of drops, things like that. However, because I was born with congenital cataracts and I had them removed, I have what's called Hobbs striae. It's very rare, and it basically means I have like lines and like scar tissue on my cornea. So your cornea sits on the outside of your eye. If this is your eye, your cornea sits on the outside, and there are 5 layers to your cornea. Typically, when you are having a cornea transplant, what they will do first is called a partial thickness transplant. So they will go in and take the innermost 2 or 3 layers, and they will take them off and they will add new layers on. And the goal is that those new layers stick to your current layers, and then you have a new cornea. However, I am not really a candidate for a partial thickness transplant because my eye is such like a complex care eye, if that makes sense. Most of the time, at least from both my glaucoma doctors and both of the cornea doctors that I have seen, they have all said that a partial thickness would just be not a good idea for me. It most likely would be unsuccessful, so why bother? Which leaves me with a full thickness transplant. So that is one of the options that I have right now. That is where they take all 5 of those layers of your cornea and they take them out and they give you 5 new layers, and that is a hefty surgery. The recovery from a surgery like that is up to a year, from the time you have the surgery to the time where your vision should be getting back to normal or hopefully better. That's a lot. That's a lot of time, and that's just one of my options. With a full thickness transplant, there are obviously risks. The biggest risks are, like with any surgery, infection, bleeding, things like that. However, when you have a transplanted cornea, it is like sewn in to your eye. And because of that, it is very, very fragile. And so you cannot have like any trauma to your eye. This is what Dr. Rapuano was explaining to me yesterday. If you get poked in the eye, if something hits you in the face, whatever scenario you want to make up, if that rips open, your eye will come through that and you will be blind, and there is no way to fix that. So that's obviously scary. I have a toddler. He's wild. And I want him to be wild. I don't want him to have to like, no, because, you know, because of mom, like you can't this, like I don't want that for him. At least not now while he can't understand. So the other risks that come with the transplant are that you can reject it. It's a live tissue transplant. Your body can reject them, or it can just be unsuccessful. That's also a possibility. So that's a lot. That's option one, and that's kind of a lot. Option two is I can try and get a contact. They call it like a full scleral. So the sclera is like the surface of your eye. And they can put a contact on. And from what I have heard and read and whatnot, most people typically don't like them. They're just like not comfortable, and you typically would only wear it at like certain times of the day. You know, you come home from work, you would take it off, that kind of a thing. And because my cornea is so damaged from all of the surgeries that I've had, all of the, you know, just the things that my eye has been through, that might not even do anything for me. So I have been fitted for one. I went through that whole process. I got fitted for one. It was supposed to be being ordered, and then that doctor left. So I don't know where my contact is, but I'm willing to give it a shot, you know, can't hurt. That's option two. And then option three is the option that I'm gonna go with, which is to do nothing. And that is, I know that is the best decision for me right now, because oftentimes when you have a cornea transplant, the stability of your glaucoma gets shifted. And when my glaucoma becomes unstable again and my pressure spikes, there's only like a handful of tools left in the toolbox that they can use. I could have another tube shunt placed. I think you can have a third tube shunt even. So like cool. And I know that tube shunts can be revised if they like stop functioning so well, but typically they only last anywhere from 2 to 5 years. And I just passed 2 years with my tube shunt. So that's like a ticking clock. And although I don't really like any of these options, to be honest with you. None of them are going to give me 20/20 vision. None of them are going to, take away my blindness. From where I'm at now, on a good day, I can see anywhere from 2200 to like 2300. I would say that's like a good day. And the cutoff for like legally blind is 2200 and beyond. So even on my best day, I'm still legally blind. And then I would say on my worst day, I'm probably somewhere between like 2500 and like 2800. If you don't know what that means, that's your visual acuity. So if you're 20/20, you have perfect eyesight. So what you can see at 20 feet, no wait. I always get this mixed up. You'd think I would know, but I think it's like what you need to be 20 feet from. No, that doesn't make any sense. What I can see at like 300 feet, you can see at 20 feet. I need to be at, I don't know. You'll have to Google it, because I always get it confused. Like, I understand it in my head that there's like, it's the difference of distance to see something, but I can't explain it and put it into words. I'll work on it. You know, I'm never gonna have a 20/20 vision. The reality is, at some point in my life, I'm gonna lose my vision completely. I'm just trying to hold on to it as long as I can. And so, I don't feel that a cornea transplant, although very needed, is worth the risk at this time. Basically, the way that like Dr. Rapawano explained it is that my cornea will continue to deteriorate. I have an extremely swollen cornea, and I also have a lot of scar tissue, so it gets sore and uncomfortable at times, and there's nothing you can do there's no drops, there's one drop that you can use to kind of help with the swelling, and I already take that pretty much like every hour. So although I would love to get a new cornea and take that risk and see if that would be helpful for me, the risk is just too great. It's just far too great. It's not wise given the longevity that I'm trying to have. So I'm gonna just let my cornea that I have deteriorate, and my vision's gonna get worse. It's gonna get cloudier. There might be like some pain that comes along at some point. You can't even say like, oh, this cornea is gonna last you like 2 more years. Like, you can't even say that. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years. You just don't know. So given where I'm at in life, that I have a young child, that, you know, I have a husband, I'm working on my master's degree, I know that I can function well as a blind woman. I know that I can be successful. I know that I have all of the resources necessary to be successful. So I'm not afraid to lose more sight. I'm not afraid to have to navigate the world like that. And when the time comes to have a cornea transplant, I will know. The way that we talked about it yesterday is, the doctor said, like, you'll know in your heart, like, this is the point where I'm ready to take that risk, because even taking the risk is worth it. Like, the gain that you could potentially have is worth it. So we shall see what unfolds in the future. In the meantime, I'm just doing my thing. I am continually learning how to utilize my assistive technology. I'm continually finding new technology that people are using, new ways to make the world accessible to me as a blind woman. And fingers crossed that from a glaucoma standpoint, everything stays stable. And yeah, we shall see what happens. I think that, I was telling there goes my water. I was telling my husband yesterday on our way home that, you could, like, oftentimes, I'll put it this way, oftentimes people will ask me, if you could see anything in the world, what would it be? What would you want to see? Like, what's your, like, sight bucket list, if you will? And for a long time, I had one. I wanted to see the Northern Lights. I wanted to see Banff National Park. I wanted to see Alaska. I wanted to go to all 7 continents. I wanted to, I think I only have 3 continents left. Yeah, I think so. You know, I wanted to see my babies. I wanted to see myself in a wedding dress. I wanted to just see. And what I've come to realize and learn is that you could win the lottery and you could have all of the money in the world and travel everywhere you ever wanted to go and see everything you ever wanted to see, and it still wouldn't be enough. It just wouldn't. No amount of time having sight is enough, because it just wasn't supposed to be like this. You know, I wasn't supposed to be blind. That's not how life is supposed to be. But it's still beautiful, even though it's different. And it makes me super appreciative and super grateful of what I can see now. You know, every time that I go wake my baby up and he smiles at me, and it just like fills my heart with so much joy. And every time I get to watch sunsets with my husband, I love it. You know, that's kind of our thing. We love watching sunsets together. Every time I get to see new places and meet new people, you know, there's always going to be those things in life. And at some point, you know, I'm going to have to grieve the loss of my vision. But I still have all the full confidence in the world in knowing that my life will still be so full and so good. So that's kind of the update for where we're at now. The only other thing that I wanted to share is that obviously if you're watching this video, you know that it's on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel, The Sighted Journey. This is something that I wanted to do. I really don't know why. I guess I made the Sighted Journey Instagram account because I felt like my vision stuff was like taking over all of my like social media, and not everybody cares. Not everybody wants to know. And so I just kind of wanted a space that I could create where other blind people could come and interact, and where I could share what's happening, and where people who are interested and are invested can come and, you know what's going on. So yeah, I'm now starting YouTube. I don't expect anything wild or crazy to come of it. It's just, honestly, it's an easier way to make update videos, and it's way easier to just like send a link to people than it is to like make an Instagram story, or, you know, I mean, reels can only be so long. So yeah, I'm gonna try and like make some videos just for fun as things go along. Like, your girl does her own makeup most of the time. Sometimes my husband has to help me with it. And I always need like my best friend or my sister or my mother-in-law or somebody to be like, is that blended? But I think it would be so cool to make like a do my makeup with me blind girl edition, whatever. I don't know. I just think it would be fun. So stick around if you are interested and think that would be fun. And if you've stuck it out in the video this long, thank you so much. Thank you for caring. Thank you for reaching out, for sending me encouraging messages, texts, whatever. I feel like my life is so full, and I'm confident that it will remain so full regardless of what happens, regardless of when I lose my sight. And it's all because of the people that I'm blessed to have in my life and that I surround myself with. So thank you so much.